You know how sometimes you just hit it off with someone, right? Like you find that spark in a conversation that opens doors. It could be a new connection, a friendlier vibe, even an unexpected opportunity popping up.
Yeah, it's like you stumble upon a hidden pathway that leads to something more.
Exactly. And often the key to unlocking those moments is something we might dismiss as, well, small talk. But hey, don't underestimate it. Today we are going deep, folks. A total deep dive into making those first few exchanges really count, really work their magic.
And to guide us on this conversational journey, we're drawing wisdom from a fantastic source. 12 essential small talk topics to master for better conversations. Straight from the insightful teacher Sam.
Love that title.
Yeah.
And our mission today isn't just to rattle off a list of topics. We're going beyond that. We're aiming to equip you with actual actionable insights so you can walk away from this deep dive and connect with people, like right away.
Absolutely. We want to peel back the layers, delve into the dynamics that underpin these everyday conversations.
Because it's not just about pleasantries, right? It's about that deeper level. How can you go from a simple hello to actually building that rapport, leaving a positive impression that lingers?
That's the real heart of it, and that's what we're dissecting today.
So let's kick things off with an absolute classic, one that you've probably experienced a million times,
Yeah.
the weather. I know, it can seem a bit cliche.
Yeah, the ultimate go-to.
But before you roll your eyes, think about it. The weather is something everyone has an opinion on. It affects us all. It's a truly shared experience.
What's so intriguing about the weather as a conversational starter is its inherent neutrality. It's this blank canvas, allowing people to connect without venturing into anything remotely controversial or potentially divisive.
Right, it's universal. We all experience it. But the key is to elevate it,
Right.
right? Teacher Sam emphasizes this. Instead of that basic, nice day, isn't it?
Mm.
Which, let's be honest, can fall a bit flat. Try something with a bit more personality.
Oh, absolutely. It's all about injecting that genuine interest.
Like, imagine saying something like, this sunshine is amazing, makes me want to just be outdoors all day. What about you? What do you usually do when the weather's this gorgeous? You see how that shifts the energy.
It becomes an invitation.
Exactly. It invites a personal response, it tells them a little about you, and it makes it much more engaging than just stating a fact about the sky.
It transforms a passive observation into an active connection point. Another example that teacher Sam brilliantly points out is, this rain reminds me of a trip I took to London. Have you ever been? It uses the weather as a springboard into potential shared travel experiences.
It's like that initial easing in, that sense of comfort before you really dive into deeper waters. It's the conversational equivalent of dipping your toe in the pool first.
And then from there, you can gracefully move on to other topics that have the potential to spark genuine connection.
Right. Speaking of which, let's talk about hobbies and interests. This is where you can truly tap into what makes someone tick.
Oh, absolutely. This is where things get exciting.
When you hear someone light up talking about something they're genuinely passionate about, their eyes sparkling, their energy just buzzing, you can't help but be drawn in, right?
It's infectious.
Totally.
Mhm.
Think about your own hobbies, the things that get you fired up. Wouldn't you love to share that enthusiasm with someone who genuinely wants to hear about it?
Exactly. And that's where the art of asking the right questions comes in.
Instead of a bland, got any hobbies? Which might get you a one-word answer. Try something like, what do you love doing when you have some free time? When you could totally unwind and do your thing.
It's about inviting them to open up, to share that part of themselves.
Or how about this? What's something you're really enthusiastic about right now? It could be anything, a new project, a school they're learning, whatever gets them going.
The beauty of this approach is that you're accessing their intrinsic motivation. These are things people choose to do, things that bring them joy and fulfillment.
It's not an obligation, not something they have to do.
Exactly. And when you tap into that, the conversation takes on a whole new life. It's no longer just polite social chatter. It's a genuine exchange of passions and interests, a glimpse into what truly makes them tick.
It's like unlocking a hidden door to their personality. And that's where you can really find those golden nuggets of common ground, those shared interests that can form the foundation for a much deeper connection.
And speaking of unlocking doors to new experiences, let's travel to our next topic, travel experiences.
Oh, yes, travel. Who doesn't love a good travel story? I know I do.
Mm.
Teacher Sam highlights how travel sparks curiosity and offers those natural storytelling opportunities, that chance to share adventures and create a sense of wonder.
It broadens our perspectives both literally and figuratively.
Think about your own memorable trips, those moments that stick with you. You probably love recounting them, sharing those stories, reliving the experiences.
Absolutely. And that's why asking about travel can be such a powerful way to connect.
But again, it's all about the phrasing, right? Instead of a straightforward, have you traveled anywhere recently?
Mm.
Which might just get you a yes or no. Why not try something more evocative?
Something that sparks the imagination.
Exactly. Like, if you could jump on a plane tomorrow, any destination in the world, where would you go and why? That opens up so many possibilities.
It invites them to dream a little, to share their aspirations and what intrigues them about the world.
Or how about this? What's the most memorable place you've ever visited? That one spot that just left a mark on your soul.
Those types of questions really get people thinking, reminiscing, and sharing those personal stories that make them unique.
And if you've been to the same place, boom, instant connection. You can swap stories, compare experiences, and build that rapport even further.
And even if you haven't been to the same place, you can still show genuine interest by asking follow-up questions. What made it so memorable? What did they learn from the experience? It's about expressing genuine curiosity and allowing them to share their passions, their insights.
It's about expanding both their horizons and your own. It might even inspire your next adventure.
Exactly. Now, shifting gears a bit, let's consider work and career. This can sometimes feel like a standard networking question, but it has the potential to go much deeper.
Yeah, it's often a go-to in professional settings. But you're right, it can sometimes feel a bit superficial if you don't approach it the right way.
It's a significant part of most people's lives, so it's natural to inquire about it, especially in professional contexts. But the key, as Teacher Sam suggests, is to go beyond the robotic, what do you do?
Because, let's face it, that can sometimes feel a bit impersonal, a bit like filling out a form, right?
It can limit the conversation. Instead, try asking questions that delve into the person's experience, their motivations, their passions within their work.
I love that. So instead of simply asking for a job title, you're asking about their journey, their challenges, their triumphs.
Exactly. You could ask, what's the most rewarding aspect of your work? Or how did you find your way into this field? These questions invite them to share their story, their unique path.
And what's amazing about that is you might uncover shared values, or discover you faced similar challenges, or even find that you're both passionate about the same things.
You might even stumble upon opportunities for collaboration or learn from each other's experiences.
You never know where those conversations might lead. All right, now time for everyone's favorite topic, well, mine at least. Let's talk about food in restaurants.
Ah, yes. The universal language of deliciousness.
Yeah.
Who can resist a good food conversation?
It's such a fantastic way to connect because, well, everyone eats. And most people have pretty strong opinions about what they like. It's an incredibly accessible way to find common ground.
It is, and it goes beyond just sustenance, right? It's about culture, tradition, and personal experiences. It's about those flavors and dishes that evoke memories and spark joy.
Absolutely. So instead of that super generic, do you like food? Which, come on, who doesn't? Why not try something that sparks a real conversation?
Something that invites them to share their culinary adventures.
Exactly. You could ask, have you discovered any amazing new restaurants lately?
Mm.
I'm always on the hunt for a good recommendation.
Me too. Or you could ask, what's your ultimate comfort food? That dish that just makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside.
Now, those are questions that are bound to get people talking, and you might just walk away with a new favorite spot to try.
What's fascinating about food is that it's often intertwined with cherished memories and cultural experiences. Asking about favorite dishes can lead to conversations about family traditions, travel adventures, or even hilarious cooking mishaps.
Oh yeah, we've all had those kitchen disasters. Food is a great way to lighten the mood and bond over shared experiences, wouldn't you say?
Definitely. As Teacher Sam points out, a shared love of certain cuisines or dishes can create surprisingly strong bonds. It's a reminder that we often have more in common than we realize.
A shared passion for spicy noodles. Instant friendship material right there. Okay, next up, let's dive into the world of entertainment. Movies, TV shows, and books.
Ah, this is a great one for getting a glimpse into someone's personal taste and what captures their imagination.
Totally. It's my personal favorite for finding out what someone enjoys in their downtime, what kind of stories they connect with.
Because, let's be honest, what we choose to watch and read says a lot about who we are, what we value, what makes us laugh, what makes us think.
So true. But again, let's avoid those generic questions like, seen anything good lately?
It's just too broad, too surface level.
Instead, try something more specific, something that encourages them to really think about their response. Something like, what's a movie that's really stuck with you long after you watched it? A film that left a lasting impression.
You're asking them to reflect on the impact a story has had on them, which can lead to much deeper and more meaningful conversations.
You could also ask, is there a book or a TV series that you found particularly inspiring? I always find it fascinating to hear what kind of stories move people, what gets them fired up or gives them a fresh perspective.
And those conversations can be so enriching. It's not just about entertainment, it's about sharing those stories that shape our worldview, that challenge us, that stay with us long after we finish reading or watching.
And if you happen to have enjoyed the same movie or book, boom, you've got a whole world of shared experiences to discuss, to analyze, to debate.
It's a fantastic way to gauge compatibility and connect on a deeper level through a shared love of storytelling. All right, moving on to a topic that's both important and potentially tricky: current events and news.
Yes, this one requires a bit of finesse, wouldn't you say?
It does. It's important to stay informed and engaged with the world around us, and current events can provide great fodder for conversations, but it requires a delicate touch.
You want to show that you're aware and informed without diving headfirst into potentially heated debates, especially in a casual setting.
Right. The key is to approach it with a sense of open-mindedness and curiosity, focusing on understanding the other person's perspective rather than imposing your own.
Teacher Sam suggests an open-ended approach. So instead of asking a pointed question like, did you see the news today?
Hmm.
Which can feel a bit confrontational, try something more inviting.
Something that encourages dialogue rather than debate.
Exactly. You could say, what's a recent event that's really caught your attention? It allows them to choose what they want to talk about, what's resonating with them.
Or you could ask, what are your thoughts on what's been happening with mention a specific current event? But frame it as an invitation for their perspective, their analysis of the situation.
That's such an important distinction. You're not stating your opinion as fact. You're genuinely interested in hearing their take on things.
Because the goal is shared awareness and understanding, not necessarily agreement. It's about fostering a respectful and engaging dialogue, even amidst potentially differing viewpoints.
So true. Now let's talk about something that's become practically unavoidable in modern life: technology and social media.
It's everywhere we look, isn't it? And it's constantly evolving, which makes it a pretty relevant and engaging topic for conversation.
It really is. And Teacher Sam provides some really insightful questions to move beyond those general inquiries.
Beyond the basic, are you on social media?
Exactly. Because, let's be honest, who isn't these days? Instead, try something more specific, like what's your favorite social media platform and why? It's a great way to learn about their online habits and what they find valuable or entertaining in the digital space.
You could also ask, have you tried any cool new apps or tech gadgets lately? It's a fun way to discover new tools and platforms, stay up to date on the latest trends, and maybe even get some useful recommendations.
You might be surprised by what you learn. Maybe they'll introduce you to an app that changes your life or a gadget you never knew you needed. Okay, for all the active folks out there, let's shift gears to a topic that gets people moving: sports and fitness.
This is a great way to connect with people who share a passion for physical activity, competition, or who just love the thrill of cheering for their favorite teams.
It's a whole world unto itself, full of passionate fans, incredible athletes, and endless debates about who's the best.
And as Teacher Sam points out, it can be a fantastic way to energize a conversation and create a sense of camaraderie.
So instead of a broad, do you like sports? Try asking, do you play any sports yourself? Or do you enjoy working out? It's a great way to learn about their personal involvement and what kind of activities they enjoy.
You can also ask, who's your favorite team or athlete right now? This can spark some lively discussions, especially during a big game or tournament.
Those conversations can get pretty heated sometimes. But even if you support different teams, the shared passion for the sport itself can be a strong bonding point.
What's fascinating is the level of dedication and enthusiasm sports fans often have. It's contagious, and it can really inject some energy into a conversation. All right, moving into a more personal realm, let's talk about family and friends.
Ah, the people who make life worth living. Talking about our loved ones is something most of us enjoy. It's a way to share those special bonds and create a sense of intimacy in a conversation.
It is. But as with any personal topic, it's important to approach it with sensitivity and respect for boundaries.
Exactly. Not everyone is comfortable sharing personal details right away. So instead of probing with intrusive questions, start with something more general and open-ended.
Something that invites them to share at their own comfort level.
Like, you could ask, do you have any siblings? What's your relationship like? This opens up a window into their family dynamic without being too intrusive.
Or you could ask, what's a cherished memory you have with your family or friends? A moment that always brings a smile to your face.
That's such a lovely way to invite them to share a happy memory. It's a way to connect on a more emotional level and create a sense of warmth in the conversation.
What's important here is that you're showing a genuine interest in a fundamental aspect of their life, their support system, their loved ones. It demonstrates that you see them as a whole person, not just someone to make small talk with.
It's about building trust and fostering that deeper connection. All right, now let's talk about what drives us, what keeps us moving forward, personal goals and ambitions.
This is a fantastic way to have more inspiring and forward-thinking conversations. It's a chance to learn about someone's aspirations, their dreams, what they're passionate about achieving.
Because everyone has goals, right? Something they're working towards, whether it's big or small. It can be a career aspiration, a personal challenge, a creative project, anything that gets them excited and motivated.
And talking about those goals can be incredibly energizing and inspiring. It's a way to tap into that inner drive and learn what truly matters to them.
So instead of a simple, do you have any goals, which might just get you a one-word answer, try something more open and inviting. Like, what's something you're currently working on that you're really excited about? You're asking them to share their passions and their progress, their journey towards something meaningful.
You could also ask, if you could achieve one big dream right now, what would it be? This invites them to dream big and share their ultimate aspirations, those goals that may be further down the road.
And who knows, maybe you'll discover some shared aspirations, or you'll be able to offer encouragement or support for their journey.
And offering that support, that genuine interest in their goals, can be a powerful way to strengthen a connection and create a sense of mutual respect.
And finally, our last topic from Teacher Sam's list, celebrations and special events.
Ah, yes, a topic that's all about joy, connection, and creating lasting memories. Whether it's birthdays, holidays, cultural celebrations, or personal milestones, these events mark special moments in our lives.
And talking about them is a fantastic way to share happy memories, learn about different traditions, and create a sense of lightness and joy in a conversation.
It's a reminder to focus on the positive and celebrate the good things in life.
So instead of that generic, did you do anything fun lately, which could be a bit hit or miss, why not try something more specific and celebratory?
Something that invites them to share those special moments that they cherish.
Exactly. You could ask, how do you usually celebrate your birthday? Any special traditions or rituals? It's a fun way to learn about their personal preferences and cultural background.
Or you could ask, what's the most memorable celebration you've ever been a part of? That one event that really stands out in your memory. This invites them to share a story that's likely filled with joy, laughter, and special moments.
And listening to those stories could be so uplifting. It's a reminder to cherish those special moments and to create more of them in our own lives.
What's lovely about this topic is that it often reveals cultural aspects and personal values around celebration. It keeps conversations light, positive, and focused on shared joy and connection.
So there you have it, 12 essential small talk topics, straight from the wise teacher Sam. But remember, it's not just about knowing what to talk about, it's about how you approach these conversations, the energy you bring, and the genuine interest you show.
It's about shifting your mindset from simply filling the silence to actively seeking connection, understanding, and shared experiences.
Exactly. And the best way to get comfortable with this is to practice. Take those insights from Teacher Sam, those questions that spark your interest, and start incorporating them into your everyday interactions.
You might be surprised by the depth of the conversations that unfold, the connections you forge, and the opportunities that arise when you approach small talk with intention and genuine curiosity.
So true. And to leave you with a thought, something to ponder as you go about your day. Think about those topics we discussed. Which ones resonate most with you? Which ones feel most natural to your conversational style?
And how could you use one of those topics, one of those approaches in a conversation today? Not just to make small talk, but to spark a connection, to learn something new, to brighten someone's day, or maybe even to discover a hidden pathway to something extraordinary.
Go forth and make those conversations count.
Happy connecting.